Okay, so today's video won't be long, really quick, and I'll just try to get to the point as quickly as I can. And it's about looking at parallels in One Piece, and I'm not going to look at the generic parallels. I'm going to look at parallels which I feel are just talked about less, and those which I feel are really impactful. So, yeah, some of them in the future may be really silly and all that, but you know what, it's just for the fun. So this one is to do with just I think one of the most impactful parallels which I which I looked at and I found really incredible, just to see how much the time skip really helped. And if we go back to the pre-time skip, just when they started to realize that they really need to take out some time to train, I think there's just a lot of things that happened to the Straw Hats back then, and how, first was Sabaody, and then there was Impel Down, Amazon Lily, the Marineford War. And I guess for me, just looking at all that and then looking at how much stronger they'd gotten, it's really hard to tell. I think it was really hard to tell exactly how much stronger they'd gotten until later on after the time skip. Especially because actually the opponents that they fought, they fought Hordy Jones and those guys are not really strong, so it's not really easy to tell up until later when they fought people like Doflamingo, who was actually at the war, that you could tell. But I think the one thing that Oda tried to show, at least in terms of how much stronger they'd gotten, was the Conquerors Haki during Fishman Island. Okay, so before I get into that, I should just really explain the different point, then I can get into the parallel thing. So the different point is like how strong the fishmen are, because I think during Arlong Park it was really driven home that fishmen are just naturally better, they're naturally stronger, and it's kind of like how much stronger are they naturally. And so I'd like to think that the fishermen that were there during the Fishman Island arc in the plaza, the 100,000, were average Marine Captain level. I wouldn't say just Marine Captain level, only because I feel like there are some Marine Captains who are just above and probably shouldn't be Marine Captains still, like Kobe and Smoker at the time, because you have people, like at the beginning of the story, you have people who were like, Smoker is a captain, but Axe-Hand Morgan was also a captain, and there's very big difference in strength between the two, but they were both captains. So I think that the fishmen were average level, and that people like Smoker at the time and Kobe just way above the average, where they probably should have been and should be in the next level, but yeah, they're just above the average. I'm talking about the average, like Axe-Hand Morgan, that level captain, which is what I believe a lot of the people at Marineford were like, ooh. Okay. A lot of people at Marineford were like that as well, because I feel like the captains at during the war made up the biggest number of Marine soldiers, and then above that you had very few rear admirals, very few vice admirals, very few admirals, and one fleet admiral by comparison to the captains. And so I think that the fishmen are comparable. Now I'm not just saying that they're comparable and trying to make a parallel like that. I'm trying to say that they're comparable, and that's what Oda is using to show how much stronger they got. Because when Luffy came with the Conquerors Haki, that was what was meant to show how strong they are. Because just before he used the Conquerors Haki, there was a whole argument of, we're like 500,000 fishermen, what can you do against all of us? 500,000, I said the wrong number. 100,000 fishermen, what can you do against all of us? We're going to take his 400 million berry bounty. But also at the beginning of the Marineford War arc, when they were setting up for Whitebeard, they said that roughly we have 100,000 Marines here. And so when they came back from the time skip And we already saw how Luffy did the first time against like that many opponents of that level. So when he came back from the time skip and he was able to knock out half of them with just Conquerors Haki, I think that was like the point at which I realized that, okay, damn, these guys have like gotten much stronger. And yeah, I think that because, I mean, you can only really see it later on when he fights people like Doflamingo, but when he just came back from the time skip, I think that was the point where you realize just how much stronger they are now. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's actually it for this video. I don't have that much to say. Yeah, again, more videos in the future. I will get back to explaining some of the stuff I've said in other videos. But for this one, that's it. I'm going to do more parallels in the future. And yeah, so guys, please like the video if you like the video. Subscribe, please. Stay tuned. Even if you don't subscribe, just watch the videos. It's also cool just to know that people out there like interested in it. And if you do know that you have someone who needs to hear the truth, who would be interested, just share the video with them. And yeah, that's about it, guys. See you guys in the next one.